introduce our keynote speaker, Rose Kirland, distinguished Toastmaster and Region 1 advisor. Rose has been an inspiring leader in Toastmasters since 2010, supporting districts across the United States, including our District 57, by mentoring and empowering leaders to achieve their goals. Her leadership journey includes roles such as district director and program quality director in Hawaii's District 49, where she's earned the prestigious Excellence in Program Quality Award. Outside of Toastmasters, Rose brings 35 years of expertise in mortgage banking, public relations, and strategic coaching. Today, Rose will inspire us with her keynote, From Vision to Impact, Empower, Lead, and Transform. She will share how we can harness our vision, step into leadership with purpose, and create meaningful impact. Please join me in welcoming Rose Kirland.
Good morning, fellow Toastmasters and distinguished guests and leaders of District 57. I am so happy to be here. You know, you're probably the only district that I don't mind getting up at 6 a.m. in the morning to come to your meeting, right? Don't tell anybody, it's a little secret. But I do certainly enjoy this district. And I had a wonderful time visiting District 49 a few months ago. It's so invigorating to experience club members and to see the gleam and excitement in their eyes, and to visit with many of you personally is in your leadership role. Well, the thing is, as the year winds down, many of us, as Sally had mentioned, find ourselves caught up in the hustle of year-end projects, goal setting, for example, and of course, the inevitable year-end cleaning. So I would like to share with you at this time what I go through in my inevitable year-end cleaning. Does this look familiar? For me, it's a way to get caught up with many things. It means tackling what I'm going to keep, what I'm going to donate, what I plan on tossing, sorting through the house, the yard, and all that stuff that we tend to accumulate over the year. It's a process, right? A process of reflection and renewal. And it's time when we look back, but more importantly, when we look ahead, ready to embrace new opportunities, to clean up the clutter, and to set our sights on the next step in that journey. Now, when you think about it, isn't that what Toastmasters leadership is all about? Just like year-end cleaning clears the clutter in our personal lives, we need to clear the clutter in our roles as leaders. It's a time to hone in on our skills, to renew our commitment to growth, and to ensure that we are truly ready to lead and inspire our clubs into the new year, 2025. So reflecting on where we are, recognizing what's working, and committing to what needs improvement. This is how we grow, not just as individuals, but as leaders in our communities. This brings me to Toastmasters Club Officer Training, why it is such a critical part of this ongoing leadership journey that we are all on. It's more than an event, it's an investment in ourselves and in our clubs. Training equips us with leadership tools, and also, as I put that slide to rest, because I'm thinking, oh, I have to get to my cleaning again after this training. But training equips us with the leadership tools that are necessary to become the best versions of ourselves. So in this type of ongoing learning, it sets us up for success. You know, as a mortgage banker, I still renew my license. And one of the things we have to do in that renewal process is to do 7 hours of continuing education for the federal and 1 hour of continuing education for the state. Aren't you thrilled that we only need to do 1 hour of continuing education for club officer training because we have so much more going for us ongoing every day that's available to us to be more resourceful. Whether you're a seasoned leader or you're stepping into this new role, it's an opportunity to sharpen our skills, to broaden our perspectives, and lay the foundation for another year of amazing growth and impact. You know, this year I saw someone who showed their video, had the 100-year emblem in the back. This year, as we celebrate Toastmasters' 100th year anniversary, I am filled, just as many of us here, with excitement and a profound sense of responsibility. This milestone is more than just a celebration, though. This milestone is really an invitation for us to set new standards and embrace extraordinary possibilities. Let's not just settle for the status quo as we go forth into the new year. In this centennial year, let's step out of our comfort zones. Let's set new standards for excellence and make this year of transformation impactful. I want to share with you now that if the club experience is the heart of a Toastmasters member's journey, then the club officers, who you are, is the pulse that keeps that heart beating. Don't you agree? Let me repeat that again. If the club experience is the heart of a Toastmasters member's journey, then the club officers, you, are the pulse that keeps our heartbeats beating. You, as leaders, energize your members. You create an environment where everyone feels valued and supported. Leadership is not easy. I know that. And it's why training like this is so vital. Leadership isn't static. It evolves as we evolve. It evolves as we do. Every training, every discussion, and every new skill we embrace empowers us to lead and transform in meaningful ways. Now, whether you were appointed, whether you volunteered or were voluntold, you accepted a leadership role within Toastmasters. You accepted it. And this is the role you agreed to take on, and you agreed to do your best in it. This is, therefore, your moment to shine. Toastmasters, as we all know, provides a plethora, a wealth of resources to help you succeed. There is no reason to not succeed. We have so many resources. As my mom would often say, don't you read? When I would constantly ask her about things, because there were so many resources available to me. And she'd say, don't you read? These resources are tools to help you. The websites, the e-modules, the commentaries, the videos, all at our fingertips, designed to help you excel. And don't forget to also lean into the most valuable resource of all, and that's each other, one another, your fellow leaders, your team, your mentors. They all are here to support and help you grow. So again, leadership is not about inspiring those around us. It's not only about that, although it's very important that we inspire those around us and that we do the best by continuing to also, importantly, grow ourselves. So I just want to say thank you. Thank you so much for continuing your education, for investing in your own growth to help others grow as well. Your leadership is built on the foundation of your own development. As you go, we go. I often say that to many district leaders, especially those that I coach or mentor. I said, we go as you go. As you rise, so too will those around you rise. That ripple effect of leadership, of creating a culture where everyone can thrive, is the same rippling effect of kindness. My mother would always say to us, be kind in what you do. And one of the greatest things that you can do is help to lift each other up, to help each other excel. That is what we're all about. We didn't grow up being unkind. We learn through trials and errors, but in all of it, inside of us, part of our leadership journey is because we have that innateness of being kind. As often as I would hear, and I thought my mother created this quote, but I learned from the social media that other people has the same quote. But your leadership skills and the way you improve and help and impact and inspire and lead and transform others, including yourself, is similar to that of kindness. The way you act is just like kindness, where kindness is where the blind can see and the deaf can hear. That's the impact that you have. So true leadership isn't just about titles. It's about building trust. It's about empowering others. It's about working together towards common goals. So whether you're collaborating with a newly elected leadership team or you're just helping existing leaders improve, it really all starts with number one, a commitment to personal and collective growth. Leadership isn't just about showing up. It's about showing up with intention, showing up with intention with purpose, showing up with intention with purpose to inspire and elevate others. So now we all know that Toastmasters love to talk and we all want to participate. So I'm going to take a moment here to talk about leadership. I'd like to ask maybe a couple of us to share, and you're welcome to turn on your camera when you share, or if you feel much more comfortable to leave your camera off, that's okay too. But I'd like to pose this out there, and that is, if leadership is about showing up with intention and purpose to inspire and elevate others, knowing that, how do you practice this in your leadership role? How do you practice this in your leadership role? Can we have maybe one or two of us, you can put your hands up or emoji or unmute, share a moment when showing up with intention made a difference for you or for your team? 1 to 2 minutes. Can we have a volunteer, please? I'm starting to see someone raise their hand, a treasurer, D. Kilburn. All right, would you like to unmute and 1 to 2 minutes, please?
Hello, everybody. My name is Daniel Kilburn. I'm a DTM, so don't time me, whatever. Showing up with intent, that comes in a lot of ways. We can look at it within our business or our family. So I'll just take the one that's closest to my heart is my family. I love my daughters dearly, but I'm not their friend, I'm their dad. And being their dad, I often have to show up with an intent to get something moving or going that they might not even like at all. And of course, that varied with their age group. They're both adult women now, but still sometimes they don't like it when daddy shows up as drill sergeant dad. By the way, I'm a retired Army infantry drill sergeant. So showing up with the intent, I do it with love out of my heart for everybody, because I intend for everybody to benefit from whatever it is I'm there for. Like sitting here right now, I intend for each and every one of you to benefit, to understand it's okay to speak the truth, to speak from your heart with your intent to better the people around you. Remember, have hope, help one person every day. I'm complete.
Thank you so much. That was a wonderful share. Thank you, Daniel. And I see in the chat, someone put 100%. You have a lot of fans here, Daniel. Thank you for that share. If we could have one more, who would like to share, please? Anyone? Yeah, either unmute, raise your hand. Okay, Jeffrey, please, our Club Growth Director, please do share. You're
Yes,
mute.
I got you. I think the thing I think about most when I think about leadership is leading by example. As you say, it's about showing up. And a lot of people say just show up early, be out front, and that's enough. I think it's more along the lines of showing up and making sure everyone else in the room is included. And when I lead by example, I try to make sure I try to connect with other people. And by doing so, I bring them to where I am, or better yet, I go to where they are. So many people think that leadership is about standing in front of the room and just talking. But in Toastmasters, it's about making sure that everyone has that feeling of becoming a leader, or it has that understanding that they can be there with that potential. And so that's what we're looking for, because it's not just being a better speaker, but also about being a better leader. It can be a good example of a speaker. Being an example of a leader is just as important. There's only 1 minute.
Thank you so much, Jeffrey and Daniel, for that share. You know, it's really important that we know about these basics, isn't it? That your experiences that were shared really highlights the importance of leadership and the impact that it can have when we show up with intention and purpose to do purposeful things. It's even in speech contests, when you're being coached as a speech contestant, many times a coach will say, move on the stage with purpose. Do not be going back and forth and driving the audience crazy or dizzy. Move with intent to make an impact and move with purpose. So this has been something that we've actually grown up with for many, many years, as Daniel explained, and Jeffrey shared his story about example. And it's these kinds of insights that help all of us grow and deepen our understanding of what it truly means to lead. So thank you so much to both of you. We all appreciate your openness and the inspiration that you've provided for all of us today. Now, I just want to be clear and re-clarify that leadership is not just about attending workshops for a couple of days and walking away with a certificate that's maybe a sticky note that's posted to your forehead that says certified leader. No, right? It is built through consistent, small actions, those daily moments that accumulate over time that create trust and respect. A leadership moment isn't defined by a grand gesture. It's found in little things by setting an example, little things by really caring. Club officers attending meetings, district leaders showing up for your deck meetings. These actions matter. Sometimes leadership can be as simple as asking someone, how is your day going? And genuinely caring about the answer. How many times have you been told, how are you? And before you even get to say how you are, they're gone on to another conversation, right? I mean, that happens so many times. But therefore, as leaders, especially in trainings like this, we get reminded, pause, and recognize and acknowledge. I'll never forget a moment early in my leadership journey when everything seemed to go wrong. As president back then of my club, nothing was going according to plan. The timer was stuck in traffic. Yes, we met in person. The Toastmaster of the day misread the agenda, and there was confusion spread throughout the room. But it was then I realized something very important, and that is leadership isn't about perfection. It's about stepping up in the face of uncertainty, adapting to it, and supporting one another. So I rallied the team that was there in the meeting, found some creative solutions, and by the end of the meeting, we were all closer and more united than ever. I know that each of us here has had our own leadership moments, whether it was figuring out how to turn a challenge into an opportunity, finding a creative solution, or learning something new that transformed on how you lead your club. Maybe you learned something from your previous club officer training that helped you. So I'm going to pause again and invite two different people in the audience to share their leadership moment, if they would like to, with the group. Anyone here that would like to share their leadership moment? Doesn't have to be like mine. It can be a good one. All right, here we have, let me be sure I pronounce your name correctly. Savita?
That's correct. Can you hear me?
Thank you. Thank you so much. Please go ahead.
So I'm happy to share that yesterday I had organized a meeting of all the Wells Fargo Toastmasters chapters, 22 of them. It was something that had not been done before. And usually when there is any numbers greater than 50, there is a lot of thought put into it, whether teams will work, what is the protocol and all that. But then I said, it's okay. Let's set the expectation low and acknowledge that there might be technical difficulties. Only when we do it, we will know how it works. So as part of the housekeeping rules, I said, let's put ourselves on mute and off camera when somebody is speaking. And we had a speaker that was not ready. And so we had to pivot, adjust the agenda. There's 87 people on the call. But rather than panicking and worrying too much about it, and that's kind of my nature, I just forged forward. We did it. And it was such a successful meeting. So I thought that's where I got an opportunity to exercise a leadership skill and just acknowledge it. As you said very rightly, it's not about perfection. It's about forging forward. Thank you for letting me share that.
Thank you so much for sharing that wonderful victory, wonderful story. And so these are exactly the kinds of experiences that makes Toastmasters leadership so rewarding. Yes, every challenge we face is an opportunity, not just as individuals, but as a team. So leadership is not a destination, but a journey. Many of you have heard that many times. It's truly a journey of growth, collaboration, and trust. And it's built over time through everyday actions that demonstrate our commitment to one another. I want to share with you that true leadership requires courage. And many of you that shared your story, that was the thread in all of that, the courage. It's not about being an expert in everything. It's about recognizing that we are all lifelong learners. We don't have to know it all. We just need to be open to learning and growing alongside our teammates. Leadership isn't about doing everything yourself. It's about empowering others to rise also to the occasion. And one of the most valuable tools as a leader is the Pathways education. Pathways just isn't a curriculum, it's a personalized roadmap for growth. Jeffrey shared how we need to set an example. So whether you want to improve your public speaking or sharpen your leadership skills or develop strategic thinking, Pathways offers all those tailored opportunities for your development. And so when you, as a club officer, engage actively in pathways. All of us should be enrolled as officers. You not only set the tone for your members, you lead by example, showing them that learning never stops and that growth is always possible. Leadership often requires personal sacrifice. We know that, and thankful to our family and our spouses and significant others, they've helped us ease the burden of some sacrifices. But great leaders, which you all are, great leaders, understand that your responsibility is to the people, not just your task, not just the list of things that we require you to turn in by certain deadlines to world headquarters, but to the responsibility to the people and to empower others to take ownership for those responsibilities. Remember, we don't have to do it alone. We can partner up or bring in a sidekick. Remember that leadership is about not only courage, but collaboration, not a solo performance. My sister once taught me that when I asked her for advice, and I kept saying, just tell me the answer. She would say, what do you think we should do? This approach encourages self-reliance and fosters teamwork. So empower others, help each other rise to the occasion. Leadership, as I've said many times, many of you have heard this, isn't about being in charge. It's about taking care of those you are in charge with. Toastmasters, we learned that encouragement and collaboration don't just transform individuals. They transform the entire group. Together, we build trust, we gain confidence, and an unbreakable sense of community. As I come to the close of this wonderful time with you, I do want to share a story which I shared many times, and many of you may have already heard it, but it resonates with me about unity, teamwork, collaboration, and courage. I got this story from the National Geographic magazine about an anthropologist who proposed a game to children in an African tribe. He said, I'm going to put this big, huge, sweet baskets of fruit out way yonder by that tree. And whoever runs there and gets there first will reap in the prize. When he said go, the children looked at each other, grabbed each other's hands, and ran as fast as they could together, plopped themselves in front of the tree, and began to partake in the delicious fruit prize. When the anthropologist asked, why did you do that when just one of you could have reaped everything? And a little boy looked up and said, Ubuntu, Ubuntu. How can one of us be happy when all the rest, all the others are sad? That's what it's all about when you're in a community. That concept that I am because we are. And we're not alone. We are made or grow because of each other. We are what teaches us that true strength lies not in our individual achievements, but in our collectiveness, in our collective spirit. Leadership is about empowering others, fostering collaboration, ensuring the success of the group as a whole. Standing up with courage isn't just about making it for me, it's my success, but it's about lifting others as we grow along the way. So as we reflect on this 100-year anniversary of Toastmasters, I remember the words that my mother would often share, and she would say, it's not what you have, but what you do with what you have that counts. Whether it's your time, your knowledge, or your skills, it's how you use them that defines your legacy. So in this centennial, let's commit to being structured enough for success, yet flexible enough to embrace creativity and fun. Because as Sally has said earlier in the term, we can soar together. So let's lean in, make history, celebrate Toastmasters' 100th year with remarkable growth and leadership, and remember that leadership is a journey that is open for you to embrace it, invest in it, and empower others along the way. I can't thank you enough for the incredible work that you are doing as a community in District 57 to continue to lead, inspire, and transform the world around us, going from a vision to impactfulness by empowering, leading, and transforming. And I'd like to share with you a closing slide of what we are all so happy about doing here, and that is being part of this wonderful district and leading with pride. So here is our final closing slide. And it's all about me. It's not really about me. ME is the acronym for it's all about our members' experience. We empower, we inspire, and we motivate effectively. And through all of that, you will not only be in your own transformation, but in those of others. Look to your leadership qualities, look to your wisdom, the confidence that you've gained by being a leader, your passion, your honesty, all of that together with courage and sincerity makes the great person, the stellar, amazing leader that you are. Back to you, Madam Coordinator, Dean. I think you call yourself a dean. All right, back to you, Madam Dean Tiffany.
Thank you, Rose, for that inspiring keynote. We're a little ahead of schedule, and does anyone have any questions? We have about 5 minutes. That if anyone has any questions or comments for Rose's speech. Anyone?
Please raise your hand.
I'd love to hear from you. Go for it.
Who are you asking for? Sorry.
Jeff.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay, I got Savita.
Yeah, Rose, I think what you spoke came from the heart, and that was the best part of it. And I love the fact that you brought your mother into it, because that already shows heart. And, we all tend to ignore what our mothers have told us, but then, as you grow up, you realize, hey, she was right. So I really like the heartful message. And it was not rhetoric. That's what I liked about it. It was heartfelt.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Jeffrey, you wanted to say something?
All right, let me fix that. Just wanted to say that thank you for getting up so early in the morning to be here for us. And I wanted to ask one question, which is, how do you find people who don't recognize that they are leader potential and encourage that spark in them?
Thank you for that question. Everywhere we turn, there is possibly someone that is leader potential. And I see that happening all the time, but it comes by having a keen sense or having a learning skill of really picking up on those signals. Oftentimes it's said that many of us have intuition, that we feel like someone has it in them to be something more than what they might be or where they might be at. But how do we identify them starts with the basics of our 5 senses. Hearing, seeing, even taste sometimes, because sometimes when I'm having a meal with someone, we get into talking about, oh, what have you been thinking about doing next year? Or what are you thinking? So it takes ongoing conversation, ongoing use of your senses, and it also takes drawing it out by posing simple questions such as, hey, I see you've been really doing well as a club officer. Do you think you might want to consider the next step, the next level. Oftentimes they'll say, what's the next step? It's like myself. I didn't become a region advisor because I dreamed about it when I just came into Toastmasters. It was because someone kept prodding, other people kept encouraging. So I would say, if you'd like to identify your leadership successor, start prodding, asking questions, bring it up. Every Toastmaster club that I belong to, we make it a practice before or in the middle or at the end of the meeting to say something about leadership. We're always saying it will be soon before we need to push ourselves, challenge ourselves to the next step. Any thoughts of leadership? And we go around the room and you'd be amazed how many club members will say, I didn't really think about it, but I guess I could give it a try. So there you go, if you're looking to build your leadership bank. Hope that
Okay.
answers some of your questions.
It does indeed. And Daniel, I saw your hand up for a second there. All right, adding a spotlight. 1 sec.
Jeff,
Actually, Jeffrey, we don't have, we're at time.
One more
Okay.
time, just one more, then just real quick. Daniel.
Okay, as far as leadership potential in people, I'll give you my background. 33 years U.S. Army Senior Infantry Drill Sergeant. So I saw and I developed a lot of young leaders. But the way we see leadership potential is by their intent and by their way of being and whatever it is we're doing. Now, that doesn't mean that somebody who's very introspective and sits back in the corner and doesn't talk a lot is not leadership potential. But unfortunately, we might not recognize that person as being a leader because of their quietness. So we have to look at it and see what are they actually doing? Are they actually doing something to assist the other people? Are they being a mentor within their own group? And there's a lot of different ways to look at these type of things. Each and every one of us are different, and we have different views of the world. But the way I look at who's going to be a mentor is by watching what they're doing, what their intent is. Are they following through? When they fall down, do they get back up and keep moving forward? I'm complete.
Thank you. Thank you. And thank you, Tiffany, for allowing us to share that last moment. And thank you, everyone, for indulging in that patience. I know you have your breakouts to go to, but I do want to just say one thing. Soft skill persons are great leaders in the end. And soft skill persons help as committee team members because they always feel like, no, I don't want to be the leader, but I'll help. From there is the beginning of a future leader. Back to you, Tiffany.